little carpet cleaner.
Yeah, and I'm going to put our profile picture back there anyway. That'll look nicer. We still haven't completely got this the way we want it. The people file into their seats. They're coming in, taking their seats.
We're going to get a love seat.
Yeah, I also want to get a love seat.
We're going to get a love seat to do the podcast.
Because we're in love.
Alan bought these 2 chairs that have big arms, and we can't quite both fit.
And we're big people.
We're smaller people.
Barry.
Happy Sunday night, everybody. What up, Sam? Good evening. Hi, Linda. What up, what up? Hey, West Alabama. Thank you, Safe Beauty. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, Safe Beauty. What am I, chopped liver? Hello, Jacob.
I was the only one paying attention.
Sam, I am. My man, Sam. Hello, Linda.
Robert E. Lee.
Linda's always here.
Jacob's always here.
Hey, Julie. Hey, Kim. Hello, Rachel Fenter.
Had to come grocery shopping,
Chris.
but watching while shopping. I've tried listening to podcasts while shopping, and it takes twice as long. But I don't want you to stop listening.
Andrea said, hello, guys and gals. That's a good bit. That's one of the best bits is when our listeners are on and they start talking like us. Like if they say buffoonery or use the word gal or...
Well, I told you gal was like one of my least favorite words you use, but you continue to use it.
I prefer it.
You use it even more since I told you.
It's a word that I prefer and I will keep using.
But we did a whole bit on words that annoy us and you just keep using it.
We need to bring that bit back. It was a great bit.
I don't think I have any more words that annoy me. I'll have to think of some more. Are you ready to get going? Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to talk about we're going to get into what we're going to talk about. But we're going to talk about the Motley Crue Dirt Netflix. The Dirt rockumentary.
It's based on the book.
Yes. So I have a sound check in honor of Motley Crue. So go ahead.
Testing 1 2 1 2.
Give me a little something.
Testing 1 2 3 4 5.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Barry Mediciner, please pick up the red courtesy phone. Barry Mediciner. Please pick up the red.
Did they say that in the dirt?
No, but that's what they were always doing.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Like every other scene, it was
like rabbits.
Yeah.
You don't have to demonstrate. But it was like rabbits. It was a lot.
We're going to go into that in much.
Hopefully y'all saw it because we told y'all to watch it. We're going to talk about it a little bit. Not a lot though.
Detail.
Ready?
No.
Record. Welcome to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. I'm Kelly Raspberry Evans, and this is my husband and co-host, Alan.
Hello, Alan.
Alan Evans.
Yes.
Welcome to our podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome to our show.
Obviously, I didn't work on a new intro like I said I would.
That's
Just
okay.
stick with what works, babe.
That's okay. Isn't there a Def Leppard album that starts with "Welcome to our show"?
I don't know.
Is that Def Leppard?
I don't know.
Well, we're not going to talk about Def Leppard on this podcast. We're going to talk about Motley Crue, though.
A little bit.
We're going to talk about Motley Crue. We saw The Dirt.
On Netflix.
That was our podcast homework assignment.
Yes.
And we told our listeners, go watch The Dirt, because we're going to watch The Dirt, and we're going to talk about it.
It was the only way I could force us to watch something we've been talking about for approximately 2 months. So I made it a homework assignment, and then yesterday I told Alan, we got to get it done. We got to get it done. We can't be liars to our podcast family. So we watched it.
We did.
I had to get up and leave and go pick up my daughter from an event, or a place, whatever she was, hanging out with her friends. But we got it in.
And you know what? The members of Motley Crue, they got it in.
A lot.
And they got it in a lot.
A lot.
And we're going to talk about that because it was tremendous.
It was shocking.
It
but
wasn't
not really so much because you kind of realize they are rock stars and there are women that would probably do that and more than what we saw on the Netflix show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was great. We're going to talk about it. But Kelly's 25th anniversary party was on Saturday? Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And we might touch on that a little bit.
There
were some speeches made that caused laughter, that caused shock and awe, that caused
shock
tears.
And horror.
Yes, and then it caused the most extreme awkwardness you could ever experience.
Well,
babe,
it was pretty awkward.
My sister texts me from the back of the room and says, I have never experienced something as tense as what's happening right this second.
Well, your sister, she gets tense a lot. Come on.
Babe, we will let our listeners decide.
All right, it was pretty.
And Jerry Raspberry voice will be used.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah.
We're going to talk about that.
I'm really excited about this podcast all of a sudden.
And then we asked for on our Instagram, which we just went over 25,000, and we have a contest going right now. We're going to announce the winner on
our next podcast. The June 6th podcast.
Yes. A Sandwich and Some Lovin' has Instagram. We just passed 25,000 followers. So if you go out to the post where Kelly and I are I'm doing the piece, and Kelly's giving me the high five sign for 25. Get it? 25.
I got it.
You get it? Get it? Good, babe. If you go to that post, if you like it, tag 3 friends. We will at random pick one of those followers, and give them a FabFitFun box.
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
Whoa!
Because, we do FabFitFun for the podcast and also for the radio show. So they sent me one because you have to be able to talk about what's in the box. And I was like, well, how greedy of me to keep 2 boxes. So I told Alan I'd like to think of a way to give it to somebody in our podcast family.
Motley Crue was all about 2 boxes.
All right. So anyway, we're going to be giving that away in a little bit. Well, on next podcast. So go take care of that. All the instructions are there on the Instagram.
Yeah.
For A Sandwich and Some Lovin'.
Oh, but
not our individual.
Right,
you can follow us on our individual ones too.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you on there. And I need to, I have been, speaking of my anniversary party, I have not even gone through all the photos yet. I didn't take a single photo because I'm busy, I wanted to be in the moment and not worried about having to pose. I was posing for a lot of pictures, but not taking them, knowing that there would be a lot online. And I haven't even gone through them all yet because it's just overwhelming. But I'm going to do it. I got so many thank you notes to write. It's going to take me a month.
It was a great party.
But I'll get it done.
But the reason I brought up Instagram, I didn't get to my point. And my point is, on our Instagram stories for A Sandwich and Some Lovin', I asked listeners to submit questions. And we got a bunch of questions. They're kind of quick hit questions.
Yeah, they're fun.
So you want to go through some of those?
Yeah, I'd love to.
All right, we'll go through some of those. And that should bring us home for Jerome. I think that's a lot.
It is a lot.
I think that's a lot.
Well, speaking of FabFitFun, real quick, let me tell you about the 2019 FabFitFun summer box that I have been talking about. It is on sale now, and you can treat yourself with some items in this box. Listen, every box is guaranteed to have over $200 in retail value. Well over. And the 2019 summer box total retail value is anywhere from $269.95 to $467.95, depending on what you get. Now, when you subscribe to FabFitFun, you can be totally surprised, or they give you the ability to pick and choose certain items. They'll give you like 3 choices. You pick the one out of that group you like. And this particular summer box from FabFitFun, let me just tell you about 3 things I loved. I love the Grace and Stella Rose Facial Spray. I put it on before I add my moisturizer. It also works as a setting spray. It smells wonderful. The Lotus Beach Towel, because we have a pool. We always have a lot of people over, but mine is the prettiest one out there by the pool, and we're going to take it with us to Galveston. And the Living Proof No Frizz Nourishing Styling Cream. Anything Living Proof makes, you want it. Those 3 items alone that I just listed are retail value at $104.
Nice.
That's just the 3 items, and there's so much more. And the thing about FabFitFun, it's great for discovering new brands and products you've heard about but wanted to try, and so many will become your favorites. And FabFitFun never sends you sample sizes. They're always full-size products. So I want you to sign up for FabFitFun today. The boxes do always sell out for these summer specials and the seasonal specials. And if you use my code Kelly, you're going to get what, babe?
You get $10 off your first box.
That's great.
Go to FabFitFun.com to sign up and start getting the box for a life well lived. Use promo code Kelly, Kellie. to get $10 off your first box. That's over $200 for only $39.99.
So without code Kelly, it's $49.99. You're going to save $10.
How about
it's only $39.99.
How about that? So go to FabFitFun.com, use that code Kelly, get $10 off your first FabFitFun box. And there's some cool stuff in there.
There is.
The one we're giving away,
So great.
all kinds of cool stuff.
And now on with the show.
Yeah, babe. Let's talk about your party first.
Okay. So Friday, May 31st, 2019 was my 25th anniversary on the Kid Craddock Morning Show. Kid Craddock hired me from Florence, South Carolina. I took a big leap. I did not know what I was getting into. I had no idea who Kid Craddock was when he hired me. I'd never heard of him before. I was in Florence, South Carolina. But he was a really big deal. I didn't realize just how big until we went to a radio convention, and people basically worshiped the ground he walked on. Ryan Seacrest, you know how big he is. When he came into our studio one time, he went on and on to Kid. He was gushing. He was telling Kid, you were one of my radio idols. I worshiped you growing up. And here I was working with this man and had no idea what a big deal it was at the time. I went to, find out. So thanks to him hiring me, I've had a really great career. I would call it successful. Why is it so hard for people to brag about themselves and their accomplishments? I've had a pretty dang good run on radio. Don't you think so, honey?
Why do you make it sound like
because
you're
I
done?
feel like I should apologize for bragging a little bit.
You should brag
but
a little bit.
I have had a really good run.
You've had a great run,
I've
babe.
done some really great, exciting things. And I told Boss Man George,
Amen.
A year ago, joking around, I either want a big bonus check or a party, but I really rather have the party.
I'd ask Alan. Yeah, amen. You better ask Alan what he wants. Amen.
Yeah. So I got my party.
And you said that you don't give a crap what he wants.
All right, I don't care what you want. I want my party. And it was so awesome. I walked in, and as soon as I walked in the front door, I started getting bombarded by people. Everybody wanted to take my picture, which is always fun, a little good for the ego. But I go upstairs, and every time I turn around, somebody I worked with 25 years ago walked in the door. People I hadn't seen in 23 years or so, because people move on in radio. So it was just awesome to see. I had somebody that I work with, Gary D, flew in from Phoenix just for this party, right? I had Josh and Patty Medlock. They flew in, and Patty went on and on. She loves you so much. She'd never met you before, but I worked with her husband, Josh. They moved out to L.A. I don't know how long ago. Listens to the podcast.
They were so nice, yeah.
Listens to the podcast all the time.
Yeah, it was fun talking
Loves
to
your
them.
recipes. Wants you to do
Yeah,
more.
she said she liked those recipes.
On and on. They flew in from L.A.
It was great.
My lawyer, Jeff Bernstein, flew in from L.A. Our consultant, Dennis Clark, flew in from L.A. I couldn't believe the people that came in from out of state to be there. It was really awesome. And people got up and said the nicest things. Now, my parents were there, my brother. My father, big in the church, he used to be the head deacon back at the Florence Baptist Temple. He's always taught Sunday school classes. My brother is an area pastor for a mega church in Arlington, Texas, and they were there. And I understand Part-Time Justin was offering my dad shots.
Part-Time Justin, PTJ, rolls on over to Jerry Raspberry and says, "Do you want a shot?" And Jerry Raspberry very abruptly and coldly, as he should have, said, "I don't drink. I will have a Diet Coke, thank you."
Yeah.
And I think Justin just kind of turned around and walked off.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's
That's
what happened there.
But they had a really great time. My parents were talking to Gail Lightfoot, who did traffic for us about 23 years ago when I think she came on board. And because Elaine Changer was there first. Isn't that a fun little traffic girl's name?
Elaine Changer.
Elaine Changer.
Yeah, I get it. That's a good one.
Anyway, I don't know where she is today,
Good
but
bit.
Gail came, and she's spent a lot of time talking to my parents because she does traffic now for the Christian station. So that was a good comfort zone for them all to hang out. But, people like JC got up and said some really awesome things, but JC got caught up.
JC got fired up.
He got fired up.
Fired up.
And it was really because I guess he, had a little liquid courage or something. Not that he's scared, but he got fired up.
Yeah.
And he said, "Excuse me, Mr. Raspberry," and then started dropping F-bombs.
F-bomb.
After, it was like
S-bomb.
he was trying to emphasize how much he meant what he was saying.
An effing bomb.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Effing bomb, F-bomb, S-bomb.
But he apologized first to Mr. Raspberry.
Right.
Got it in there.
But does that make it any better?
Yeah, I guess so. Because he was passionate, you know, it was a sweet speech.
But you know what I was telling Kelly, I've never really heard JC cuss.
He doesn't really cuss
he's
a
not
lot.
a big cusser. JC's not a cusser. He's kind of got that really nice reputation, very calm, you know.
So it was surprising.
Now, Bossman George gets up there.
Bossman George, he cusses like breathing. And so you kind of almost, you get so desensitized to it, you forget he's cussing.
Have you ever seen the movie Goodfellas? You have not. Have you ever seen any movie with Joe Pesci?
I think so.
Yeah. It's kind of like Joe Pesci.
Well, except for Home Alone. He didn't cuss a lot.
Like some people say, George says
F. He says F a lot. That's his favorite.
Frog.
So Big Al, he wrote this really sweet letter to me and read it on the air Friday. And so he read it again Friday night. It was very, very sweet.
Boy, Big Al brought a tear to AE's eyes.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did you not hear him read it Friday morning?
No, well, it brought a tear to my eye when he read it Friday morning. But now I'm standing there listening to him do it.
Yeah. And they had a big, slideshow with all these old pictures. They played some audio from, clips that were funny. Bossman George said some beautiful things and gave me a diamond tennis bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought in my lifetime I would own a diamond tennis bracelet, but now I do.
You never thought I'd get you one?
I just never thought I would own one.
No, it's very nice.
It's got 25 diamonds, and he said, one for each year, but it actually came with 27. So he had those 2 diamonds removed, and I'm probably going to make them into little studs.
Oh, really? I didn't know. No, I knew it had 25, but I didn't know there were 2 extra.
He said there were 2 extra.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
That was so sweet. I was really moved by that. But then, so as I'm, thanking everybody, and I see my parents, and I know my dad. And I know my dad is going to want to say something. So I say to my daddy before we got a picture, everything, we're ready to go, ready to wrap things up.
And this is after all this
everything's done.
Cussing and drinking and toasting.
I've gotten my present, taking the pictures. Daddy, do you want to say something?
And he ambles on up there.
He didn't hesitate.
No.
About 1/2 of 1 second.
No.
And he comes up to the mic.
And then he kind of casts his shadow on everybody.
And I'll be honest, I had been drinking. I didn't have an empty hand all night. People kept shoving a vodka soda in my hand. So I was a little buzzed in front of my daddy, and I'm standing there next to him. So it took me a minute to kind of realize what he was saying. When he first said it.
Shall I go into it?
But I just want you to understand. Okay. When he first said it, I was like, I don't understand what he's saying right now. Oh my God, I understand what he's saying right now. It went like that.
It went something like this. Well, hello, everybody. I am Jerry Raspberry. I am Kelly's daddy. Kelly has had a long, successful radio career. Some of that has been attributed to Kelly. But actually, the reason that Kelly is here goes back to a warm July night when me and Connie were together. I can't even do it. Me and Connie were together in South Carolina on a warm July night.
He did not do the. He did not make that noise.
He's done that before
in a different context, but he did not make that noise.
So, as the Lord would have it, in April of '67, Kelly was born, and the reason she is here today is because of Jerry and Connie Raspberry.
Yeah,
that's pretty much how it went.
That was pretty much it,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, minus the.
Yeah, minus the. So my daddy talked about the night I was conceived. That was not uncomfortable.
On a warm July night. Hey, and at that point, I'm
smiling and I look at my dad. I'm like, oh my God.
And at that point, my phone starts blowing up while I'm listening to your dad.
Was it registering what he was saying?
Yes. My sister texts me. She goes, I am so unbelievably tense right now.
Because everybody's picturing my parents. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's picturing a sweaty Jerry Raspberry.
Yeah, that was.
On a hot July night in South Carolina? How sweaty do you think your dad was?
Stop it. I don't want to think about it.
You started it.
I didn't start it.
You're the one that had the party.
It was my fault for having the party. So that was the highlight of my party.
It was funny.
And so then I don't even know what time it was. My mother was telling me today how good the food was.
It was very good.
I said, there was food? because I didn't have a piece of food cross my lips because I didn't even know. I was so busy visiting and saying hi to everybody and taking pictures, and I didn't even eat. But at the end, I don't know if it was you or me or both. It was I don't know who said, everybody come to our house. Who was that?
That was probably me.
Okay, I don't remember.
Yeah, I might have said, hey, let's have an after party at our house.
And all I remember saying, we just need mixers. We don't have, I said, we have tons of alcohol, and so we just want mixers or beer.
Justin took that football.
Yeah.
And he ran that 99 yards to the
promised land.
Well, he heard after party at our house. And then he is buzzing around telling everybody after party at our house.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
We had about 20 people, I guess.
And before you know it, I'm texting everybody our address. So our address is in the public domain now. So that's great. But
come on over. No, so anyway, it was a fun night, and I don't know what time we went to bed. I know how I felt the next morning, and it wasn't great. And I scheduled a workout that the next morning. I figured that's the only way I was going to probably recover.
Oh, babe, so, can I read our audience? I wrote you a note, and I posted on my Instagram. So some people have seen it. Some people haven't.
I caught in bed and told you how sweet our Lord.
Can I read it?
Yeah, but didn't I?
You did.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted you to remember I said I saw it.
But not all of our listeners follow my Instagram.
They should.
So they should. The Alonzo 1971. So I want to read this, what I wrote for Kelly, because her 25 years was a big deal. So let's see here. It says, I met Kelly Raspberry much later in her radio career in early January 2016. Now, the picture I posted is a picture that a listener took of Kelly and I on our first date, which is crazy. We're at a sushi restaurant. So I say, unbeknownst to me, this is a picture a listener took of us on our first date at a sushi restaurant. For us, everything just seemed to fall into place naturally and easily. And about a year and a half later, we were married. Just like many of Kelly's longtime fans and friends, I too cannot imagine a world without Kelly in it. She and I have shared and experienced so much in a short amount of time. For me, I'm just blessed it was better late than never to meet the love of my life and my best friend. I knew I couldn't get through this. It just so happens that she's also Kelly Raspberry on the Kid Credit Morning Show.
Hey.
Why do I do this? Why do I do this to myself?
Because you're emotional Leo.
Yeah, I am. I told Kelly and our podcast listeners this week that in my opinion, being at the same company for 25 years is an unbelievable achievement. I can't believe you did that. and for that to be in the radio and entertainment business and to perform at such a high level for so long makes that even more impressive. Congratulations on 25 years, babe. I love you, and I wish I could have been here from the beginning. But we got here as fast as God had planned for us. I can't wait to see what the future may bring.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
I love you. You've done so good.
I love you too.
You've done so good.
Sweet.
You've done so good.
You're the emotional one in this
I'm
relationship.
I'm a very emotional Leo. But it's just funny how life works out. I didn't get to see most of it.
You didn't get to meet Kid.
I didn't get to see most of it. You know,
everybody's told Kid if Kid was around, you might not be here because Kid was so brutal to all of our dates. You know, he just picked on him so much, and a lot of them didn't have the spine to stick with it.
Well, I have thick skin, but it's funny just thinking how your career has worked out. You know, I've been here for a little bit of it, but if you think about 25 years, it's just crazy where that time goes, right?
Yeah.
And but that's just the way life works out. So I'm glad I'm here now.
I am too, honey. Aw, you're so sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. I love you.
It was a really special time.
It was very, very special.
And everybody's like, here's another 25 more. I'm like, hell no, I don't have 25 more. I don't know how many more I've got. Well, I've got a few more in me.
I mean, I hope you can do 25 more. No, not 25 more where you're just working.
Living.
Not of working.
Oh, yeah. I meant of working. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, you never know what you want to do. You might want to do something. You might want to do this as long as you can.
I can't imagine not doing it. It's either do it or not. That's like my only, I don't know what else I would ever do. This is always, it's like when you do something that comes so naturally to you, and then you have to be forced to find something else what would ever come as naturally to me again. I've never had to work. And Big Al has always said the absolute best. And I don't know if he stole it from somebody else or if he came up with it on his own, but I'm stealing it from Big Al. He said, they pay us to wake up in the morning. We get paid to wake up.
Right.
Because everything we do beyond that, being on the air, that's not a job. Our job is waking up because it's just, it's fun. And it's, some days are harder than others, but for the most part, I mean, we're just so blessed to do what we do.
That's what Robert said one time, your producer, White Cheddar. I did a podcast with him way back, I don't know, 3 months ago. Mm-hmm. And I asked him, what's your favorite part of your job? And he said, it's tough getting up early and I get a lot of work done before the hosts show up. But he said, we're just there doing bits.
Yeah.
He said, it's not even a job. I'm just there doing bits.
We're so lucky.
And making sure everyone's on schedule.
Yeah.
He said,
now he loses, Robert.
No, he works hard.
He works hard.
I'm not saying he doesn't work hard.
And he gets really mad at us when we
Stop talking.
Yeah, we screw up the clock and the schedule. There are things we have to abide by. When Kid was, before we were syndicated and we were just on in Dallas, Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth area, we could do whatever we wanted. We could talk for an hour straight without taking a commercial break. Now, it was a mess for the people to have to make up those commercials that were missed and stuff, but it would get done. But yeah, we would do whatever we wanted. If we wanted to stay on till noon, we would, because we just had so much fun doing it. Can't do that anymore with syndication, but yeah. I appreciate Robert. I'm gonna tell you, I appreciate, so many, and I should really quick. I don't know if they're ever gonna listen, but Mike Morse, DJ Mike Morse, mm-hmm. Nicole Goggins, mm-hmm. George, Bossman George. They did so much to get that party ready for me Friday night.
Well, all the office staff, I think, worked on the video staff, and everything. Yeah,
part-time Justin and Robert, our producer, and Nick. They were all going back through just hours and hours and hours of audio. And a lot of it, I think, is on Kid Nation if you want to go back, and there's links to it so you can hear some of the old stuff. A lot of Kid Craddock was on Friday morning. It was a lot of fun. I've been a part of something very special.
You have been.
And now our podcast, which is just as special.
Our podcast is a little fledgling compared to your other job, but that's okay. And we're a podcast and we're a fledgling podcast, but we've got sponsors.
We do. Now, a couple of weeks ago, Alan and I were lucky enough to receive in the mail Free Fly apparel. Now, I got everything in their company is made of bamboo. It's like the softest material ever. I couldn't comprehend what they were saying. They were like, it's softer than cotton. I'm like, how? Cotton's like soft. How can it be softer than cotton? This bamboo material is super soft. They sent me the racerback top, the Weekender long sleeve tee, and the crop tights. When they came in the mail, I was like, let me just try them on real quick. I put on that Weekender tee and the crop tights, and I didn't take them back off until the next day. I wore them around the house. I slept in them, and I wore them around the house the next day. They are truly the most comfortable material I've ever put on my body.
I love I have a long sleeve t-shirt, a pair of shorts, and a cap. And it is my go-to house uniform.
Right.
I wear it all the time around the house.
And I wore the racerback. I wore it to work out the other day at the gym. The length is long enough where it's never riding up. It always stays in place. The brother and sister that created this line of clothing, they wanted something super lightweight and breezy and comfortable with SPF protection because they're outdoors so much. But I just lounge around in mine all the time. You don't even feel like you're wearing it. It's that buttery soft. And it's outdoor clothing. So you could wear it for, going out fishing, for hiking if that's your thing. You can wear it to the gym or, like me, just lounge around the house. Well, this stuff is the most comfortable stuff I own.
It's comfortable, but it has UPF sun protection, right, wicking away moisture fabric, and it won't hold odor.
Well, that's important.
Which is good for me.
Because you ever work out next to somebody that smells like mildew?
Because I will produce odor when I work out.
Because that mildew smell is all the germs and stuff that are trapped in their clothes that keep getting wet. It's disgusting.
Right.
And plus, it's no big, bold labels and stuff. It's all real subtle branding and beautiful muted colors. We love it.
It's kind of on the down low. Well, Father's Day is just right around the corner. So gear up for adventures with Dad. You can get 20% off when you visit freeflyapparel.com and use promo code SANDWICH. That's freeflyapparel.com and use promo code SANDWICH to get that 20% off.
Get the loungy pants. They're so great.
All right, babe.
All right. Do you want, now we've gotten past the emotional stuff, I hope, unless somebody asks you a question that hits you in the feels. We're going to get to some of the...
Very emotional right now.
I know.
Very, very emotional. Got a lot going on in my life right now. I'm very emotional.
Aww.
I'm on edge. No, we watched The Dirt.
Right. Yeah.
Let's
on
talk
Netflix.
about that. On
Okay, real
Netflix,
quick, because
yeah.
we do want to get to the questions too from you guys. So it starts out really shocking. It starts out, it's based on the book that all the four guys in Motley Crue contributed to called The Dirt. So
are we doing spoiler alert? Or has this been out a while?
Well, we told everybody, it's been out a while. We told everybody we're going to talk about it.
If you don't want details, then you
just fast forward like 15 or whatever it is, 30 seconds at a time on your podcast button.
Don't fast forward through the next spot. Just fast forward through the Motley Crue stuff.
Yeah, just for like maybe 3 or 4 minutes,
right.
Maybe. So anyway, it takes this huge book and you get it in less than 2 hours. But it starts off at a rock and roll party when they're at the height of their fame. And stuff's taking place at that party that my little eyes should not have seen.
It happens on a hot July night.
It was what I saw at that party did not happen on that particular July night that I was creating.
Real quick though, babe, just level set here with the audience. Were you a Motley Crue fan?
Not particularly.
You were not.
I'll tell you why.
You
I liked a couple of their songs, but they used a lot of satanic symbolism, and I didn't like that.
They did deviltry as a bit.
It was a bit.
It was a total bit.
But you know what? At the time, they're doing the audience doesn't know it's a bit. I just don't. I didn't want to go to a band that has pentagrams.
I get it.
That wasn't my jam.
Now, way back in Texas in the mid '80s, I was all about the Crue
because you loved pentagrams and satanic.
Well, no, that's not true. I liked their music.
Well, you know what? They didn't really touch on it that much in the Dirt that we saw in the Netflix special. In fact, they didn't touch on a lot of stuff because a lot of stuff happened in these guys' lives. And, they're in the confines of
2 hours.
2 hours, but less than 2 hours.
They didn't talk about Pam Anderson at all.
Yeah, they cut off before that.
They just said, and then they toured for 20 more years.
Yeah, they cut it off. They did go into Tommy Lee's relationship with Heather Locklear.
Yeah.
And they did breeze over Vince Neil literally breezed over Vince Neil getting in a drunk driving accident that killed somebody. They spent a little bit of time on when his daughter died, but they just kind of glossed over a lot of stuff. So I had a problem with that. My problem with movies is where they don't go deep enough into some of the dirt.
Yeah.
They glossed over a lot of the dirt.
I thought Bohemian Rhapsody was done much better.
No, I didn't.
Then you thought Bohemian Rhapsody wasn't done much better than The Dirt?
The Bohemian Rhapsody was a complete lie.
No, I'm comparing it to The Dirt, the storyline.
Okay.
The story of the band, I could follow a little bit more. The Dirt was just a bunch of debauchery.
No, I feel like they were both probably as guilty because Bohemian Rhapsody, that's not at all how it happened.
Some did.
A little bit, but they took a lot of liberty and they just kind of glossed over so much stuff.
Well,
I need you to dig a little bit.
To me, The Dirt, it was all around their heavy drug and alcohol use.
It was a lot, and
basically
sex.
what it was about, and sex.
And a lot of sex.
A lot of cross-pollination going on, too.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee, Nikki Sixx is hitting Tommy Lee's fiance and
his first fiance, not Heather.
And then somebody was hitting the manager's girlfriend. And it was just ridiculous how much sex they had.
It was a lot.
God.
But then again, you think, and then the stuff that Ozzy Osbourne did.
Oh, that was the weirdest scene I think I've ever seen.
It's amazing he survived. And you see the damage that was done to him. And I don't want to ruin it for you, but there's a scene where he's snorting something that's not cocaine.
Off a pool deck?
And also drinking something that's not meant for human consumption.
Off a pool deck.
And it just makes you wonder about other bands that you did love and what went on the tour buses. And
they were all doing it.
And that the record label, and they have their handlers that just, they don't care. They were saying that on a private jet, the stewardess was serving each of them on a silver platter, the drugs and alcohol of their choice. And, it's like there was a tray of pills and there was a tray of alcohol. And it's just shocking, but I believe that.
Yeah. Now I knew Nikki Sixx, the Motley Crue bassist. I knew that he was kind of the guy who formed the band. I knew he had ridiculous drug use and drug problems and got on heroin.
And the story with his mom growing up is
horrible.
Heartbreaking and awful.
So I knew all that. I knew that the song Kickstart My Heart was about him dying, and then they hit him in the ambulance and brought him back to life after he was legally dead for 2 minutes. So I knew that'll happen. What I didn't know is that after that, he went home and did more drugs.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
But that's when he said
he said that's when I realized I hit rock bottom. Not when I almost died. When I almost died and then went home and did more drugs.
Yeah. He was addicted to heroin.
Yeah.
So it's really, like I said, I think they could have gone a little deeper. The funnest part for me was at the end of the Netflix series when they were showing scenes from the movie side by side with the real life event.
It looked really close.
They did a really great job, which makes
yeah.
me think they did get a lot of it right. And I think they're, a lot of things you have to remember, these guys were also out of their minds on drugs. So some of their memories might have been a little fuzzy, but I think they came pretty darn close to a lot of it. But they showed side by side of Tommy Lee and Heather's wedding, and they showed just different scenes where they're banging heads on the table and just certain pictures they recreated. It was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Here's a little story, a little tidbit I've never told you about. Hey, and this kind of goes with today, June 2nd, when we're recording this podcast. Today is my 30th anniversary of me graduating from high school. 30 years ago, I graduated from high school. Thank you, babe. But that's a little side note. When I was in high school, well, this would have been junior high. This would have been 84, 85, that time period. Motley Crue was huge. Everyone loved Motley Crue.
See, I was into Duran Duran.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was
not devil worshippers.
For me, it was Motley Crue, Bon Jovi.
I loved Bon Jovi.
Of course, Van Halen, AC/DC.
I liked Van Halen a lot, but he scared me. They were really sexual, and they scared me a little bit.
Now check this out.
I did like him.
I knew this guy in junior high school, and I wasn't really friends with him, but he sat next to me in a few classes. He was really into Motley Crue, but he was buying the deviltry stuff. No kidding.
See, and that's the thing.
He was buying that.
His kids are very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Is that the word? Impressionable.
Yeah. But you know what he would do? In geometry class, you remember those metal, what do they call them? Compasses?
Yeah, where you do the pencil in the circle.
The pencil, it has the sharp point on it. And
Yeah.
you got the sharp point, and then you turn the pencil and it makes a circle or whatever you're trying to draw.
And how many times have you used that as an adult?
Well, zero.
But
okay. Used it in junior high. That's how old I am. This dude would take that sharp point and he would carve pentagrams and Crue into his arm.
Okay, see, that's why,
That's a true story.
I believe you.
That is a true story because I watched him do it.
That's gross.
Is that crazy?
And I wonder if those rock guys think that's a compliment, or if they're horrified to hear that kids did that, What I did love was Tommy Lee's boyish, happy-go-lucky attitude, and he's still like that today.
Well, how could you not
he's just so fun.
If you've been with Heather Locklear, Pam Anderson.
Yeah, but look at the other guys. They were with hot chicks too.
I know. No, his attitude.
And they're miserable.
His attitude seemed to be a little bit different. I don't know if that's totally true. I guess it is. I know Mick Mars was a weird dude, though.
Well, look at the pain he's in. He's got this horrible.
Yeah, he had health problems.
Yeah, where he said his bones are basically becoming cement. But you look at somebody like Vince Neil, and I'm also wondering, why didn't he get punished more severely for this guy dying and these other two people having brain damage?
I don't know.
It's like the punishment was
it wasn't
that severe.
I really don't know.
It's a lot.
Because I don't know if this had anything to do with it. We have to go back.
They said the family
said they were supporting Vince.
They said
don't put him away because
they said he could do more good by preaching against drunk driving than he could by being behind bars. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've never, I've not been in that position where I'm so grief stricken that you hear about people that forgive people who have been in these horrible accidents that kill their families and stuff. And I would hope that I'd have God's grace to do that myself, but I haven't been in that position.
Well, it was a wild A documentary. I would say watch it if you're
it's not a documentary.
What do you call it?
It's it's a documentary.
Yeah, I'm using the wrong word. It's not a documentary. It's a what do they call it?
What do they call it?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Mine too. And I always say it wrong.
It's not a biopsy.
Yeah, something like that. It's a movie about
Live studio audience, help us out. It's not a documentary.
What do you call it? Bio something.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I can't.
What do they call it?
We're wasting time thinking of it.
Oh man.
Anyway, I would say watch it if you like those bands from that era.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Biodrama. It's not biodrama.
It was
it, guys? Biopic.
Thank you, studio.
Thank you.
audience.
Whew. Biopic.
Thank you, live
I always
studio audience.
say biopic, but it's biopic, right?
Biopic.
It's biopic. It's a biography picture. Biopic? I don't remember. But now we've just started watching Jailbirds.
That's pretty intense.
That is a documentary.
Yeah.
Part-time Justin is the one that turned me on to it. He talked about it on the radio. It's the Sacramento prison where it's got women on one floor and men are on the other floors, but they're really focusing mostly, we're only on episode 2.
But it's like a real life Orange is the New Black, right?
Yeah, we're about to start episode 3, and it is incredible. It is incredible what's going on. Alan sits there with this look of puzzlement and horror on his face.
I'm mostly puzzled.
It's shocking.
And how dumb they can be to get there.
They are dumb. A lot of dumb decisions.
It's so frustrating. And then to hear them talk about what they want to do when they get out. Some have good intentions. They're like, I want to start my life. Some are like, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna beat her ass.
Because she disrespected me. I don't care if I have to come back in jail. And it's like, how far down in your priorities does it get to the point where you're like that? But the way they learn to communicate through toilets.
That is nuts.
The way they pass things through the sewer system to each other, and they fall in love with other inmates by talking to them through the toilets.
They go fishing and pass each other notes by tearing up their t-shirts and putting spoons on them and then passing notes down the toilet
until the spoons get. Y'all, how do they figure this out? That just goes to show you how intelligent some of these people are, that they can figure these things out.
Well,
if they could be that ingenious, that's ingenuity. When you learn to communicate through toilets, when you learn to pass notes from the sewer system from 3 floors above you, and you can get it to the right toilet,
babe,
3 floors below you.
I think.
Do you know how smart you have to be to figure that out?
Putting a guy on the moon without computers is smart.
But that's smart. That's street smart. That's ingenuity that you figured it out.
Yeah. That's
crazy smart, I think. I would be sitting in a jail for the rest of my life and I'd never figure out how to pass a note to somebody 3 floors above me in the toilet.
What would you be doing in a jail, babe? What would you be doing in a jail?
Homicide.
Homicide?
Well, if you meant for life.
Babe, joke about that.
Well, what else would I do?
You'd be in there for, what would you be in there for?
I'm a rule follower.
Yeah, you are. You wouldn't be in there for anything.
Maybe if they made it, punishable by speeding or something. I speed sometimes. That's about it.
Okay.
You want to get to some mail?
Yeah, let's do some mail here. So on...
I'm trusting Alan with all this. This was his bit, so...
Yeah, we'll just go through them. I haven't really previewed them. So we'll see what we got.
Alan went on our Instagram for a sandwich and some lovin' or for your personal?
Sandwich and some lovin'.
And we asked the people who follow it, the 25,000 plus people who follow it, if they had a question.
Okay. Question from, should I give
It doesn't matter.
Should I give their Instagram handle?
Why not?
From ALISV7575. He or she says, I can't tell. It says, you never answered, Kelly, never saying why you should not give a doctor your social security number.
Oh, because I didn't know I was asked why. Because people that I know have gone to the hospital and stuff, and they've put their social security number down, and they've had their identity stolen. Because not everybody working in the office or in the records department is honorable and trustworthy. And I'm sure people are tempted with information, and you're not required by law to give a doctor your social security number. So unless it's for taxes or something like that, I've never had somebody at the front desk call me back and say, I'm sorry, you forgot to put down your social security number. Once I found out that I wasn't required to do that, I stopped doing it.
Okay.
There you go.
Another question from Caro Cuz. Caro Cuz?
Just do the questions. That's going to be too hard.
Well, I'm just reading this.
I know, but the names are too hard.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you could have dinner with a famous person, dead or alive, who would it be?
Why don't you answer first this time?
A famous person, dead or alive. That's a tough one. I mean, I'd love to have dinner with my grandpa Evans. He wasn't a famous person, but he's the first one that pops in my head.
Yeah, I think most people think famous.
Yeah, but is famous? Well, I mean, let's be real. If you had an opportunity to sit across the table from Jesus Christ, wouldn't you do that? I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would
If
think.
someone could say you can do that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but hopefully one day we'll be doing that anyway. We have eternity in heaven.
Well, I know
to have
this.
dinner with
I
the
know this
Lord.
is a hypothetical question.
See, my problem is if it's somebody I truly love and admire, I don't want to meet them because I know it's not going to go as well as I'd hoped.
Oh, I know another one.
So if there's somebody like, you know how much I love Britney Spears, I don't want to go to dinner with her because it's going to go horribly, and and I'll regret it, and I'll say something stupid, or she won't want to talk, and then I'll be just devastated. David Letterman, I love David Letterman. I love, there's Steve Martin. They're like two of my favorite. I think they're just both so funny and sexy, and I would just shrivel up. I wouldn't know what to say to them. So I guess I'd probably go, gosh. Does it have to be,
famous person, dead or alive? It can be anybody. I named my grandpa.
Yeah, I guess it'd be something like that. Because if it's a famous person I really admire, I don't want to meet them because it'll go horribly wrong.
I do. If I was in a drinking and kind of partying mood and just hang out, give me James Hetfield from Metallica, the lead singer and rhythm guitars. Give me Slash from Guns N' Roses, and give me Clint Eastwood. It'd be kind of cool to hang out with Clint Eastwood. Ask him about his whole acting career and do all those old westerns and how was that and Dirty Harry, and I don't know, that'd be kind of cool. Kind of a guy's night out with James Hetfield, Clint Eastwood, and Slash.
As long as there's good conversation.
Oh, with that group? Yes.
Yeah. I'd probably just pick a Real Housewife.
Okay.
Because that wouldn't be as intimidated, but it'd still be kind of fun, maybe.
Okay, here's another question from a Southern Mama 83. She says, what's the best compliment someone has ever given each of you? She says, I love y'all so good.
That is so hard.
That's easy for me.
What?
Well, like when you tell me, in your opinion, you think I'm a good father.
Yeah.
That really means a lot to me.
Getting compliments on your parenting is always helpful, especially when I feel like I screw up all the time.
I had a friend.
But some people will some people just see a picture of you and your kid and you're sitting there smiling in a picture and they're like, you're such a good parent. I'm like, based on a picture of us smiling together, that's not really the good, because you see a lot of those pictures that show up in the, on the news of those a parent smiling with their kid, and then the story backstory is not so great. So you can't really base good parenting on a fun picture, but on social media, But I love when people tell me, I get a lot. I mean, the obvious is that you're a good parent, but like when I have people come up to me and like just a couple weeks ago, the woman's crying and saying how much our show meant to her, how much, especially like me, she said in particular, we'd always talk about what you say, and you're one of my best memories of me and my mom who passed away. So being a part of somebody's really good memories, that's a big compliment.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
I had a friend tell me one time, and it kind of caught me off guard. She said, you're very kind. And I thought, wow, well, that's kind of nice. I've never really looked at myself and thought I'm not particularly kind, but
that's not a compliment given often.
It's not a compliment given often. Yeah. So that kind of hit me like, oh gosh, I guess I'm doing something that would make you think that I'm kind. I'm glad you think that, but that's a good one, I think.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And you're cute.
You don't have to back her up on that. That's okay.
You are kind of me.
I'm kidding.
Sometimes.
I'm kidding.
Sometimes he gets mad at me.
He's
not very
sometimes
kind.
You get mad at me.
Well,
and you're not very kind.
Nobody's calling me kind.
You're very kind. Very kind.
Thank you, honey.
I just told you this morning in the closet how kind you are.
I wasn't fishing for a kind compliment.
Why do I talk like that when I get all spun up?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay, this one's from Erica Webster. Oh, Erica Webster. Okay. Erica Webster. Sorry, Erica Webster. She says, what was your favorite part of your 25th anniversary party? Congrats.
Oh, man. What was the favorite part? Just seeing everybody. The people that showed up. The people that showed up was my favorite part, because some of them really had to put a lot of money into it, put their butts on a plane. And some of them flew in literally for just that and flew right back. So that was really awesome. And a bit like, wow, who would I do that for? You know, if I was invited for somebody's, who would I fly in and fly out for? It makes you really stop and think. So that was really cool.
Cool, babe.
What was your favorite part?
Just seeing you standing there, like with a big smile on your face.
Oh, thanks.
That was
really
when I
nice.
took that picture. That was one of my favorite pictures
Thanks,
of the night.
honey.
Just seeing you happy. This one's from Frogger Leaping. That's a cool Instagram name, Frogger Leaping. She says, "What do you do differently in your marriage that you learned from your first?" Good question.
You want me to go first?
If you want to, or I can go.
Oh gosh, I wish I had some warning on this because I don't really spend a lot of time.
Well, that's why this is fun because you
I don't spend a lot of time.
Well, okay, I'll go and you can think while I'm talking.
Well, I thought I was going to have an answer. I think before I speak more.
Oh.
Sometimes I just don't say it.
Okay.
Because you have to play out. You have to take a minute and play out what is the outcome of me saying this in this moment. What is my outcome going to be? And you have to just, it's probably not going to be good. If you have to stop and question whether you say something, probably the outcome is going to be negative and it's going to just lead to a bigger fight. And sometimes you just have to learn to keep your mouth shut. I think that's what I've learned.
So basically there have been hundreds of times you've wanted to call me an asshole, but you've just chosen not to call me an asshole.
Well, I told you, I flip you off behind your back all the time.
That is not very nice. That is not very nice.
And mouth it.
Hey, I can't believe that. I read a heartfelt dedication to you and sobbing on this podcast, and you just said you mouth asshole behind my back.
And flip you off.
And flip me off.
Yeah.
I think.
What do you do behind my back?
I don't do anything. I just walk away sheepishly, my tail between my legs with slumped shoulders.
Whatever.
I guess for me, what do I do differently? Oh gosh, I think my memory is a lot shorter now. I'm able to kind of sometimes. It depends on the subject, but I'm able to kind of forget and move on a lot quicker than I used to. And also, I think I realize now, much later in life, that life is screwed up, okay? Mm-hmm. Life is great, but life is also screwed up.
Life is hard.
Life is hard. Life is screwed up, and that's the way it is sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I think before, I always thought that everything, including myself, had to be perfect. I had to be perfect. And it's just not a realistic way to live.
No.
It's not a realistic way to live. So I'm much happier with a short memory and understanding that, you know what? Sometimes I'm a doofus. Sometimes my wife is a doofus. Sometimes the kids are a doofus. And that's just the way it is. And sometimes stuff doesn't go exactly like you want it to go. Oh, well, let's move on and figure out how to make it better next time. So that's probably, in a nutshell, what I've learned. Does that make sense?
Big nut. Big nutshell.
On a hot July night. That certainly was. That's going to give us material for years.
Well, it's going to give you material. I'm not going to bring it up again.
Let's see here. Okay, here's one from little.cyclone.kid. She says, how will you handle dating with your kids? Also, will you have the same rules for both genders?
Well, we haven't reached that milestone yet. We really honestly haven't even discussed it. You want to discuss it now? We haven't discussed
Handle dating?
It hasn't come up.
It hasn't, but my daughter's 14.
And she is not interested in boys right now.
I've asked her. I mean, let's be real, though. Brooke doesn't give me a lot of information about anything, but I have asked her, hey, any cute guys and guys you kind of like? And no, not really interested. I'm like, oh, okay. When she does get to that point, and she will, when she does get to that point, I don't think I will discourage it, but I would like to be involved a little bit.
Know the guy.
I would like to know the person.
Yes.
I would like to know the person's mom and dad. And I would like to have a pretty good awareness of where they are and what's going on. I'm not saying I want to track them down, but I'd kind of like to be involved a little bit. I want to know where they're going.
Yeah.
You know, I want to know what time you're going to be home. I want to know, like, what are you doing between this time and this time? Who's giving you a ride?
Who's
You know?
going to be there? Are their
Who's gonna
parents
be
going to be
there?
supervising? Things like that.
I mean, that's all I can really say right now, I think.
Yeah,
And if he messes up, I've got a huge gun closet right here,
you do.
right next to me.
It's right there, folks.
Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't gotten to that bridge yet. You know, I'd like her maybe probably start off doing kind of group things before she does solo dates, you know, kind of group setting things. I've never ever in my life when I was a kid, I didn't even understand parents who let their kids go to parties. Like, I don't know if they're even allowed to do it anymore. Prom parties and things where like the parents are buying the kids kegs and stuff. I'm like, no, that's not me. That's not my parenting style. I'm not of the philosophy. I'd rather them drink at my house, you know, than you know, some parents let their kids drink and stuff at home.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That ain't the Evan's raspberry way of doing it.
No, we drink at home, but
the kids are not.
This is funny. An Instagram user all he says is gas prices.
Well, this is my dad. Does my dad have an Instagram?
Gas
my dad
prices.
literally asked me today, Kelly, let me ask you, how much did you pay for your last tank of gas? I was like, well, Dad, I don't really. Well, that Walmart over there at Coit, had it like $2.20. How much did you pay? Daddy, I don't really know, but I know I had 20 cents off because of my shopping stuff. That's good. That's good. He's always telling me where the cheapest gas is, but I don't even know how much I paid for the last one.
Yeah, I don't have a lot on that. I know when it gets like around $3.50 and $3.75, I start looking around like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's the deal with this? Okay, here's another kind of look back. If this one's from Panquecito 3713. I'm sure I got that just right. If both of you could go back and give advice to the 18-year-old you, what would it be?
Well, I would be a lot kinder on myself. I look back at pictures of myself and I was like, I thought it was so fat and I wouldn't do things. I wouldn't put on a bathing suit and go out and enjoy certain things in group settings because I was embarrassed. Everybody would be talking about me and I would, you know, kind of hide behind people and things. And I feel so bad when I see women that I know now who always have to stand behind people and hide behind plants because they're trying to hide because they're embarrassed about their bodies, or they won't put on a pair of shorts and let's go. They won't go to the beach because nobody cares. Nobody cares. I can't think back 15, 20 years ago about a pool party and I can't remember what everybody was wearing, you know? So there's a lot of things that I probably missed out on because I was so worried about how I looked. And so I would try to let myself know it's not that important.
Mm-hmm. I think that's good advice. I think mine would be looking back at a young, skinny Filipino-American kid that has no idea like what he's going to do with his life.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, dude, you know, when you're 18, like life moves so slow. And people that are 30 and 40, they're old. Look at us now, right? We're not 18. We're not 18. But I would say to this dude, you've got so much life in front of you. Take your time. Take your time. You finish school, go to college, finish that, and then after you finish that, try to travel a little bit. Get a good job if you can get it. But find something that you love. If you can find something that you love and then also just make a little bit of money doing it, that's perfect. It's not realistic for a lot of people. But if you can do that, do it. If you can do it, do it. But experience.
But you got to take other stuff in the meantime.
You do. But experience a little bit.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Just because everyone else is getting married or doing this, that doesn't mean that you have to.
That happens a lot.
You don't have to do that. Take your time because life is long and
short at the same time.
Long and short at the same time. Now you're our age, it goes fast because it's a lot of fun. And there's so much going on and you have kids and, you know, it's just like, if you could just be patient. I would tell my 18-year-old self, be patient.
Try to be in the moment.
Be in the moment.
And not always worried about what's next.
Don't worry. Everything's going to be all right. Just slow down. That's what I would tell that kid.
There you go.
Okay, I think we got one more, babe. And then
got one more in us?
And then we're going to bring it home for Jerome. We've got one from Brandy Labad. Dia. She says, boy, here's a good one. What is your secret to a happy marriage? Well, first of all, what makes you think we're happy? Just kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Sense of humor. That's the secret.
That's a good one. Sense of humor. Is that your secret?
No, I mean, it is important to have somebody you can have fun with.
Yeah,
I really do.
yeah.
I'll tell you, our marriage is, it's not always like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. But I'll tell you, when we do start disconnecting from each other, the best thing we can do to get ourselves back on track, you know what I'm going to say?
Date night?
Go on a date. I think that is truly the secret to a happy marriage. Because when you go on a date and it's just you two and don't talk about, okay, you need to fix the stopper in my sink, which you do need to fix the stopper in my sink.
I do. It's on the list. I
But,
changed all the light bulbs this weekend.
You did such a good job.
Thank
See,
you.
he did that. He changed every light bulb that was out in the house. And apparently you found the smoke detector that was chirping too, because I don't hear it anymore.
There you go.
Thank you, honey. But that's the thing. When you go on date nights, it's not about the honey-do list. It's about having fun. It's about, let's try a new cocktail tonight. Let's go to a new restaurant. Let's do something different. Let's just, when you were courting each other, when you're both on your best behavior, going out on those dates, I think that's it. When we're disconnecting, we go on a date night and it immediately puts us back on track.
Yeah. I don't want to just say, what Kelly said, but I've noticed that too. I think maybe the umbrella issue is, and this can happen to any couple, they get really busy. Like they're both working, they both got their own things going on, and then there's kids stuff to do, and there's family stuff to do, and there's friends stuff to do. And it's easy to ignore your spouse. It's very easy.
And you're disconnected.
It's very, very easy to do that because you think, they're there. They're going to be there. I'll see them tonight when we hop into bed. And we'll talk for 5 minutes and pass out, rinse and repeat the next day, right? But like Kelly said, that time you spend together where it's just you two, you set the phone down, you lean back, you have a glass of wine, and you just talk about, like we were just talking about, what advice would you give yourself when you were 18?
And talk about, set the phone down.
Yeah.
Put it away. We see these couples on dates and it's like, what is happening? They don't look up at each other the entire time. Food comes, they eat, they don't speak. That's not a date.
Yeah. That's
not a date. That's not what we mean. Just going and being on each other's phones. I got to put that phone down too.
Yeah. Date nights are fun. Hey, let's be real. Let's pull back the kimono. If you can follow the date with a little bit of what?
I think people understand.
What? I'm not going to say anything bad.
See, I don't trust you.
You don't trust me?
Trust is very important in a marriage.
Follow the date with a little,
after drink.
I don't know, just a little, little hot July night.
Gosh, stop.
All right.
Speaking of making babies.
Oh, yeah. Good segue, babe.
Well,
great
right,
segue.
Right. A lot of we've talked extensively the radio over the years and on our podcast about my journey to finally becoming a mom. I can't believe it's been 12 years since I finally had Emma Kelly, but that was all thanks to the in vitro fertilization that I finally got, and that was with Dr. Kevin Duty. So a Sandwiches and Lovin partnered with Dr. Kevin Duty and his wife, Dr. Kathy Duty of Care Fertility, to do the Maybe Baby contest. And thanks to the doctors, you just posted a picture of Kelly and Louise.
Kelly and Louise, I sure
They've
did.
had their first appointment with Kathy Duty, Dr. Kathy Duty, and they're getting ready to begin their journey to hopefully having the same success story that I had. And we have so many listeners, so many letters that we got that were just emotional, heartbreaking, some this close to giving up hope, some still holding out. And people are just struggling with infertility and wondering, is in vitro right for me? Is this what I need to do? Because it wasn't my first resort. It's never anybody's first resort. It's always after you try all these other things. Well, Care Fertility is offering free tests exclusively for our listeners.
Unreal. How cool is that?
I know, very
free
nice.
Tests. And to do that, you go to effortlessivf.com FabFitFun.com/maybebaby. And then you enter the special code, which is maybebaby. And what are they going to get, babe?
You get a free AMH and free semen analysis, along with a free 15-minute consultation with Dr. Kevin or Dr. Kathy Duty, because they both have knowledge and they can both help you with that.
They got lots of knowledge. They got street knowledge too. That's effortlessivf.com/maybebaby. Enter that code maybebaby, and your test and consultation must be completed by June 29, 2019.
And hey, we're in June now, so don't put it off.
Yeah, you got to get on that. Free tests.
I love that. And at least lets you know if this is the right course of action for you at this point. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is very helpful, especially in the pursuit of having a child.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Did my daddy say that?
No, he did not.
Who were you imitating? Was that my dad?
No, that was not your dad.
Who was that?
That is a line from a song, a rap song.
Who?
It was an old band from the 80s.
You can't remember?
No, I can't. They're very hardcore rap. It was hardcore rap.
Oh, was that Public Enemy?
No, it wasn't Public Enemy. NWA.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you were impersonating an NWA
Well,
rapper.
no, I wasn't. I just heard you say knowledge, and then I thought it just popped into my head. Random things pop in my head. You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Oh.
Straight out of Compton.
I'm not familiar.
Al is.
Is he?
I thought Al's from Compton.
You walk up to him and say that line, and he's gonna look at you with
that's a good test.
Yeah, his eyes are gonna be like, I don't. You won't have nothing.
You think he'll have nothing?
No, he won't know that.
That's from NWA, straight out of Compton.
He won't know that.
All right, babe. Wow, we were all over the place on this podcast.
I thought we were right where we needed to be.
Yeah. No, this was fun. I hope our listeners enjoyed it. I certainly did.
Well, if you didn't, we'll try to do better next time.
Except sobbing uncontrollably. I'll try not.
I thought it was sweet, honey, and it wasn't sobbing. It was just nice.
Oh, okay. I'm making it more awkward by talking about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I love you desperately.
Love you.
I love our listeners desperately, and I am sure we will do this again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich. Bye.
Was Michael watching tonight by chance? Is Michael on there? Can you see?
Oh, Michael Milkos?
Yeah, because he gives me my the rundown of what we talked about, which helps me with my podcast title and description. Mary Jo, she was there, but she had to leave early. She was there, though. He's not here tonight. Okay. I'll have to remember what we talked about on my own. I told Michael, because he's been doing these where he writes down everything and sends me what we talked about. And I miss it until like a day later. So last week I used it for the first time. And now he let me down. No, he didn't. So we talked about my party.
Let's see. Party, Motley Crue.
The dirt.
Questions.
That prisoner. Man, my eyes are drying out.
Oh, and then
Jailbirds.
Jailbirds, yeah. Christy Kincaid Norris says she's your backup, Michael.
Oh, thanks, honey. And
Thank you.
Your question.
Thank you, Dorothy.
And that's it, right? Those three things?
Dorothy, you're not related to Frank, are you? Oh, Allison.
What?
A sandwich and a hot July night. It's gotta be, babe. It's gotta be.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Way to go.
Which is not going to make sense because people are going to think this is June.
I know. It doesn't matter. Allison, high five. There you go. Yeah.
He'll high five you, but not me.
But it's got to be July night.
Well, what, J-E-W?
No, like J-U-U. July.
That's
how he said it.
But people be like,
he had that mic. It was a hot July night.
I'm going to spell it the regular way.
That's how he said it. No relation to Frank Parra. Okay.
And this fan is drying my eyes out.
It'd be very comfortable. It's not comfortable. Makes you uncomfortable.
Is that it?
I think so.
All right, guys. I got to get my laundry out of the washing machine and put it in the dryer.
Good night, Danny.
It's life.
Hello, Deanna.
We might squeeze in one more episode of Jailbirds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we should, babe. We've got time.
And then we got to find another series to watch after we catch up on that. So give Alan your suggestions. Oh, Netflix just suggested to me, and I forwarded it to you, Alan. You know how Netflix will send you stuff that you should watch because they think you'd like it? Let me tell you, the one I just sent Alan tonight.
Jay Greenspan, that's a good suggestion, actually.
I Am a Killer. It is death row inmates convicted of capital murder give a firsthand account of their crimes in this documentary series. It is 10 episodes. It's from last year, and somehow we missed it. But we like the Ted Bundy thing that kind of got us started on this. What was that?
Sometimes I randomly go.
So I think we're going to watch that after we finish Jailbirds. Okay. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.
I'll have to tell that story sometime.
Which one?
When your dad pulled me aside after 1 month of
But you
knowing
can't.
him.
You have to change a few of the details.
Yeah.
I don't mind you telling it, but
You know, you get that. Yeah, I could tell it. I could tell it without.
who he was talking about.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's so awkward. Oh, why was it so awkward? Oh, Julie, what was the name of that show, babe, you just mentioned?
I Am a Killer
I Am a Killer, Julie.
and Jailbirds.
And Jailbirds. All right, guys. Hello, Chelsea. Thank you. That's very nice. Very nice thing to say. Love you too. Love you desperately. Go back and I didn't see all these comments. Biopic. Yeah, I learned a new word tonight. All right, guys. Hey, Mel. You been here the whole time? Thank you, Julie. Appreciate you. Thanks, Mel. All right. You were just hanging back. Thank you, Chelsea. Yeah, Kim. They send ramen noodles. They send potato chips through the toilets. Notes. Just ridiculous. But I was telling Kelly, it's like, where are the guards when all this buffoonery is going on? I mean, can't they hear that? I mean, can't they? I mean, they're pulling these things and there's spoons attached. And I mean, and then don't they count like how many T-shirts they give the ladies there, the gals there? I mean, and then because they're using their T-shirts to create the fishing line, it's raised so many questions for me. That's why I just sit there and I was like, what is this? What is happening? I don't understand. Where are the guards? I guess they can't be there in the cell like all the time, but nuts. Time is it 9:21? Yeah, Julie raises a lot of questions. I don't get it. Texas Tech advances to the Super Regional. Oh, that must be baseball. Yeah, Tech's got great baseball. Guns up. Abraham, you think a lot of the times the guards, they know what's going on? Yeah, they may. They may just turn a blind eye. I don't know. Okay, y'all. Well, yeah, Chelsea, I bet some of the guards maybe they just don't want to deal with it. I did not, Meg, see the score of the Tech game. I'm the worst Tech fan. I really am. I mean, I got on board with the basketball when they were in the tournament, and then I follow football. I don't follow baseball. I should, because they're great. Tech's baseball, all of Tech's athletics are really stepping up. But whoa, yeah, they won. Great, that's awesome. Hey, I'm all about Tech doing well. I'm the worst fan. I don't watch much TV in general. If I do watch sports, but okay, guys, here I gotta leave you with that emoji here. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, I always like this one. It's one of my favorites, actually. There we go. And then that one. I like that one too. Bye, Julie. Have a good week. Dina, what do you say? You're my husband Brian's idol? Okay. Hey, I'll take it. My man. What's your husband's name? Oh, Brian. You're my husband Brian's idol. Okay, Brian, my man. We're gonna have a whiskey. Go get some whiskey. You and I. Get a whiskey, I'll teach you a few magic tricks. I did some magic tricks at Kelly's party. They went over really well too. They really did. I got JC big time. He had no idea. Yolanda, I got her. I got her friend. I brought out some of the heavy hitting stuff. Okay, guys. Night. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Love you guys.